What's up, YouTube? What's up, Instagram? What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to the daily energetic and astrology reading forecast for the week of October 9th to the 16th. Yeah. This is sort of an unpredictable time for me to jump on here, but that's the nature of the times that we have going on right now. So last week was Hell Week, right? And it's been a doozy. I don't really usually use that word, but it seems to sum it up pretty good. So this week, we still have a lot of transformation going on, but now that we've sort of shed this skin, right, we're in this new place where we have already jumping off the cliff. We're still falling. We haven't figured out if we're going to fly or hit the ground yet, right? But the interesting thing is that while we're in this sort of void space, all these new energies, all these new things are coming in. And there's a lot of really interesting stuff about understanding love and understanding fear. So what's up, Kaylee? What's up, Siren? How you guys doing? I'm using two different locations here. So if I'm looking side to side, I apologize. Just go look at the charts, and I cannot upload it on here, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it because I'm looking at the charts right now. Okay, but really, when it comes down to it, I'm channeling the energy of what's going on right now. So, we just came through a Sun square Saturn, which, and just wow, very, very, very intense. And the Sun is in detriment in Libra, so Saturn is more powerful than the Sun, but we're beyond that now, and that was bringing up unexpected things in relationships, right? Or situations that have to do with relationships that we don't fully understand. Jasmine, that is such a cool font. What's up, Jasmine? I love it. It's very creative. What's up, all you guys on Instagram? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. So we have the Sun, right? And it's at now when it's at detriment, it doesn't mean that all Libras are at detriment. Okay, it just means that the Sun it has to share, and Mars is also at detriment in Libra as well, because Mars wants to go and make things happen. This is our spirit. This is the main energy of consciousness, and so this is wants to spread it out thin. Let's just help everybody, and let's just get out there and peace and love. And sometimes that doesn't work out so well. We have to sort of be cautious and careful, because right now, especially, there's a lot of energetic vampires, sort of like that story with Mexican crabs. The crab's trying to crawl out of a thing, and then the other crab pulls them down. That's what's going on right now. And if we aren't aware enough of ourselves, it's going to hit us in the subconscious place, and it's going to bring us down. So we have to be very aware of what we're feeling, because if we overthink things too much, which with Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio, that's a lot of overanalyzing, overthinking, not really trusting the intuition. It's okay, I'm seeing this, I'm feeling this, but what if? And you're reading into body language and movements, and trying to dig so deep that you get lost in the process. Okay, so we have to be cognizant of that. But the real foundation of the energy this week is there's a lot of mutual reception going on here. So Mars loves being in Scorpio, and that's where Venus is. And Venus loves being in Libra, which is where Mars is, right? So, Venus is at detriment in Scorpio. I have my Venus in Scorpio. So let me tell you, that can be extremes. If you have passion with someone, it's very, very sexual. If you have that sexual passion with someone, it is fucking deep, almost addictive. Right? But if it's not there, then it ain't there at all. And then it just causes problems, right? So this can be very heavy, heated passion. And if you have the right stimuli, if you will, then that passion will be fun and exciting and intense. But if you don't have the right stimuli, and if you're trying to force something, it's just going to be really, really bad, okay? And this has to do with relationships a lot, because if we're around people that are not there for our highest good, it's going to get painfully fucking obvious. Okay. So you really have to listen to how you feel right now, because say you walk into a room, right? You're networking, you're walking into a room with all these new people, you're trying to build your own business. And you feel this weird awkward are like, ugh, I just need to get out of here. I don't like it. That means you got to go now. There's a contrast to that, because if you're walking in and you feel like insecure, or if you feel like like if you're an introvert like me, believe it or not, yes, I am an introvert. You walk into a room and you could feel the energy, and you feel insecure. That could be bringing up your fears to get over it, to walk through it, right? So you have to discern, like, do these people, like, if you're walking into a room of like cholos or something, or people, everybody's drinking 40s and getting fucked up, and has packed heat, probably not the greatest environment to sit in and make something happen. But if you're walking into a bunch of entrepreneurs that are having a business meeting that are talking about networking and like helping each other out, but you're still feeling unsure and insecure about yourself, then maybe that means that you need to face that fear and walk through it. Because right now, fear is at that 99% mark, and love is at that 100% mark. So we're playing with that that threshold where the universe is testing us right now. Because in January, when that Pluto-Saturn conjunction happens, it's like, if you haven't done the work and if you haven't taken action and pushed through that feeling, then you're going to be stuck in that fear. You're going to be stuck in that place where you get to that point where on the other side of that point, all your dreams and everything are going to come true. Then after that, that's going to get ingrained in your unconscious mind. And every single time you come into a situation like that, you're going to back down. Okay. And I'm saying this so specifically because I've had experiences like this myself, right? Even though, like, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, like I have people telling me I'm an attractive guy. That's a subjective perspective. But you know what? I still get insecure. Like, especially like sometimes I get a lot of, attention, and I'm like, oh, fuck, are people judging me? What's going on? And, believe it or not, I have haters. Hi, haters. If you're standing in your power, which right now we are all being sort of pushed into situations where we're able to express our power, take our power back. And if you're stepping into that, you're going to have people that are going to love the fuck out of you or are going to hate the fuck out of you. There's just no in between, right? So if you have haters, you're doing something right. So I commend you, because look, we can learn from our haters, but then we can also learn from people that love us, right? You just have to look at it, see. People that are hating are envious or jealous or have some of their own shit that they're working through because they don't have what you have, right? There's something that they're looking at saying, well, fuck them. They did me dirty or they did me wrong. Okay. But if you look at the bigger picture, everybody comes into our life for a reason. There's a lot of karmic lessons being learned, the bubbles are being popped, a lot of things coming through that are testing our faith and our strength in our heart. But there's a lot of cerebral energy going on right now. Mercury in Scorpio is going to be there for the next 2 months, and it's going into shadow on the 11th. So all this stuff is going to start coming back up, right? And Mercury in Scorpio is deep. It wants to get down to the deep core. We've already had, in the last 2 years, we've had Saturn, we've had Jupiter, and of course, all the personal planets going through this rotation of the Scorpio energy, digging up all this deep, dark shit. And it's really coming to light right now. And this is sort of the last major excavation of that 8th house, deep, dark, sexual energy, that subconscious, that psychic energy being excavated out and being brought up to the surface, so we can be like, hey, this is who we really are. This is what we really love. We keep getting into situations where are teaching us that that's not what our truth is. That's not who we are. That's where we want to be, right? So where do we want to be? We want to be in a new place, and that new place is coming. But in order to be there, in order to really be there in our truth, in our authentic self, we have to face those feelings of discomfort. So we really have to push through and just really, like, shit's going to start to get gnarly. Like after, once this full moon hits, this full moon is exactly square to Pluto at 20 degrees. And then, Pluto is exactly square to the sun and the moon. Pluto is the deepest, most intense death and rebirth transformational energy there is. And now the Saturn Pluto is in its last coming together. They're both direct, right? So now they're 6 degrees apart. So as they get closer, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And, Saturn is going to be speeding up. It just went direct. So we can expect that feeling of like being pushed over the edge to get stronger and stronger. But, you know, essentially our souls can handle it. Our souls are fucking exhausted, right? But we can handle it. I mean, we may not think that we can handle it up here, but we seem to keep going somehow, right? And this is why self-care is so important, right? Taking care of ourselves, eating healthy, you know, exercising, meditating, you know, like being around positive influences, being around people that inspire us to be better people. We see people that are doing the things that we want to do, that are at a place that we want to be, that have the safety and security, that have the financial abundance, that have the relationship with their kids, that have the relationship with their significant other, that are just doing well. We want to surround ourselves with those people. You're going to feel it so deep, and we're going to be tested every step along the way. And going through those steps, every time we listen to our heart and we step into that, we're going to feel stronger and more efficient. Okay? So with this mutual reception, this is Venus is in Scorpio, and it's in detriment there, but it's at home in Taurus. We have Uranus in Taurus that is at home in Scorpio too. So what is Uranus? Uranus doesn't like being in Taurus because Taurus is like a fixed energy, and Uranus likes to go deep. It's that rising transformational energy, right? So it's sort of and then that divine feminine energy is like, yeah. That's not what is love, baby, don't hurt me. Clearly I can't sing, but you know what I'm saying, right? That whole idea of you know, asking what is love, if you're coming from a place of pain, you clearly don't know what love is. Okay, it should be more like you know, what is insecurity? What is jealousy? What is fear? I don't want to feel it anymore. Right? So what is love? And these situations that are coming into our experience teaching us, because, you know, relationships are in a massive transformational cycle right now. So, you know, if people are breaking up, people are changing their minds, people are going all over the place, meeting new people, right? And when that happens, feelings get hurt. And when feelings get hurt, that's the ego being bruised. That's not love. When you really, truly love someone or something, you understand the bigger picture, right? People come into our lives to teach us lessons. And if it doesn't work out the way that we had it envisioned in our mind that we wanted to go, that's the plan that our ego had for the process. Okay. And if it didn't work out, there's a reason it didn't work out. And if we're triggered by it, by having emotions come up, we have to face the triggers. Okay, so we start, and you see projection going on everywhere right now. People are just pissed off. People are jealous, envious, just feeling that, fuck you for hurting me. Well, you know, I'm sorry, but we have to stick to our own heart, our own truth. And if we made a mistake, which, hey, we're human, everybody does, okay? But when we stop allowing the stuff to hold us back, like that energy is suppressing us, and it's so strong right now, we're in a bad place. That the energy is just, we're pressing up against it now. There's no more room to hang out there. It has to go. So even if you're trying to force yourself to stay in a situation that you know is not right for you, it's gonna tower moment all day long. It's gonna go bad. Okay, and it's unnecessary. Be honest with yourself. There's a lot of situations here that are needing to be honest with yourself. And there's a lot of new energy wanting to come in, right? So you should be meeting a lot of new people, getting a lot of new creative ideas. Kundalini energy is just skyrocketing right now, okay? So today, actually right now at 8:15 p.m., the moon just entered Pisces. We have a grand trine, which is really good energy. It feels good, right? Feels good. There's Mercury to the moon, moon to the north node. So this is like, yeah, let's go. We're going along. Yes, take a leap and moved on. Well, good vibes. Good for you. I feel you on that one. We have to go towards our destiny right now. And we really still don't know what that is, but we're starting to feel like you can taste it. So close. You can almost reach out and grab it. But it's not quite there yet. It's going to be a couple more months. But in the grand scheme of things, okay, you're doing the work and you're making that decision to let yourself and go forward into what you know feels right. And it may not feel good, but feeling right, you have this, I got to go, right? I got to make it happen. So move forward. with your own self-love, with, however difficult it might be. You have to have faith. Okay. So this grand trine, this is speaking to our communication about the bigger picture, right? Going forward into our destiny and to our emotional truth, our emotional happiness. Now, today we also have a yod. Of course, there's been so many yods in this last few months. It's crazy. And yods are also known as the finger of God. They're deep karmic lessons that are meant to open our eyes and open our mind, right? So let's see. We have the moon that's sextile Uranus. Uranus quincunx to Mars. Oh boy. And Mars quincunx over to the moon. So this is going to be unexpected shit coming in, like unexpected communications, unexpected turns of events happening. We may not understand why it's going in this direction right now, but again, you have to trust. And being a Libra is going to be about, guess what? Relationships and self-confidence. So what relationships are you getting into that are making you feel more self-worth, more confident, more ready to step into your power? Now you are playing with power. You ever heard that Method Man song? Yeah. And when you are going in that direction, it's going to feel good. You're going to be like, okay, I don't know what this is, but it feels right. Don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know why the hell I'm singing so much today. It's crazy. But that Alana Baraz song, it feels right. You got to listen to that feeling, guys and girls. The feeling, if it feels right, that's the direction to go. So if you're, you could be changing your career. You could be changing your mind when you're approaching, like business ventures. You could be deciding to invest in certain different things. There's so much changing going on. As long as you're listening to that voice and you're sure. Now, if you're not sure that you can trust that feeling, it's not being sure about feeling musical. Hell yeah. It's not so much about, feeling the external stuff, right? Like if you're going and, it's logical sense. It's more about feeling just what you feel when you think about it, when you experience it, when you interact with it. What does it make you feel like, right? And so I was in a situation where I was considering, partnering up with some people that I had known for, a few months. And I went and I met up and we about 12 of us all got together and we were just talking and shooting the shit. And I was super insecure at first. Like I was like, oh, this is so trying to spark conversation. Like, yeah, so what's up? But after about 20 minutes, we found some common interests. And then we start talking business and it's like, okay, like, yeah, this makes sense. This feels good. Okay. Then people started loosening up a little bit, without any kind of alcohol or any kind of thing that alters the consciousness. This is a time to be very sober, because especially this week with this energy that's going to be powerful in Pisces in the Grand Trine. If your consciousness is modified in any way, I guess you can say, then that's going to go more into the escapist. Like you could think something's awesome, but it's really a trap. Right. So you want to be real careful of that. So, be mindful that a sober mind is the way to go when making decisions for yourself right now. And probably for a while. Okay. Because this escapism energy is potent too. All right. So with this yod, if you have a lot of new people coming into your life, trust that, people like I've been having people contact me like, what? I just been feeling called to reach out to you. And some people don't know why. Hey, that's cool. Let's figure it out. Let's talk. Let's see what we have in common. Right? Or maybe they're like, I want some body work. I want a reading. And, I'm more than happy to help out. I am grateful to be of service to my community and to humanity. That's why I love doing this. But if you're feeling that call to like, what's up, Mr. Steal Yo Pounds? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Mr. Steal Yo Pounds is one of the guys we've been talking, and about, growing and expanding our community and helping out, reaching out, and, make better things happen out here in Las Vegas. So I'm super excited to work with you, brother. Hell yeah. So, if you feel that intuitive nudge to go forward and to reach out to somebody or to take some kind of action, or, if you're interested in somebody and you're like, man, I don't know, and would they like me, would they not like me, that take that chance, reach out to them. You never know. And with no expectation, right? If you have an expectation in all this, and that's just your ego, and that's going to leave you, sort of just discouraged, or even just like sitting around waiting for something that may or may not never happen. But that's not the point. That if you feel it, you never know what planting that seed's going to do. So this is a time of planting seeds, because next year, when that conjunction hits, bam, it's go time. So wherever you're at, we're getting it's getting lodged in concrete, and we're moving forward. So move forward with that, and make sure that, you're doing it for you. There is no more sacrificing ourselves for other people. It cannot happen. Okay. So let's see here. We have Jupiter now starting to really move along at 19 degrees, and it is sesquiquadrate over to Uranus. So this is past life stuff, really having to do with your self-confidence and limiting belief system. So, whatever limiting belief systems that we may have going on at any particular time, it's gonna come up. It's gonna be triggered through this fear, right? But it's gonna be triggered to come up, to look at it and say, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Let's go. Come on, forget about it. All right, be you and be proud of being you, right? Everybody's weird. Even if you put on a facade that you're normal and you have your shit together. What's up, Tiffany? Even if you put on this facade that you have your shit together, everybody's weird. Everybody has some kind of shit that's being rumbled up in their life right now. So don't count on outside appearances. I know so many people that like wear suit and ties every day, and they drive a nice car, and they look like they really have their shit together. But behind the scenes, underneath all that, they're fucking miserable, or they're in crazy amounts of debt, or they're just like they're pretending. And there's so much pretending going on right now. And that whole facade, it's crumbling. It is being put to sleep. And it's people like that are actually really, a majority of them are the ones that are coming to me, look at, hey, dude, like your energy is just, contagious, and like, how do you do it, and what do you do, and how can I get to that place? And I walk around like I work in gym clothes. I like being comfy. I don't like dressing up in, a suit. And I eat my meals throughout the day, and I take care of me, and I have my things going on. I don't bury myself. Well, I do bury myself at work, but throughout the work, I strategize it so I can take care of myself at the same time. We all need to be able to take these different aspects and find that Libra balance. Okay. And with this detriment, it can be a little difficult, because as we keep getting this balance a little bit together, boom, something else comes in, changes it up, and throws it out of whack. Right. I am very polished, though. Well, thank you. That's your subjective perspective, but I got crazy shit going on all over the place, and I freely admit that. Right? I may look polished to you on the outside, but to others, I may not. Right? Depends on if your pretending aligns with the future you see yourself moving into. Well, see, that's the trick right here. Okay, because just the word pretending in and of itself is not authenticity. It's not authentic. And if the future self that you see, thank you, the future self that you see yourself to be may not be the person that you really are. And that is where the ego and the heart come into play and clash. Okay, so we have to be careful, and we don't know who we're going to be a year from now. There's so much change going on, and that's why projecting that idea in your mind into the future is going to create serious problems in life right now. Right now, we need to be in the present moment and accept who we are, imperfections and all, and be okay with not being okay, however that may be, right? Some people may struggle with depression. Some people may struggle with, bad relationship with their kids. Just means it hasn't shown up physically yet, but that doesn't make it untrue. Well, of course, nothing's true or untrue. My whole point is that the idea of projecting this image of who you want to be in the future is counterintuitive to the energies right now. The energies right now are suggesting that we stay in the present moment, because if we're living in the future, that's anxiety, right? Because we cannot predict the future. We can prepare for it today in the present moment, but we cannot predict it. Okay, life is going to shift so much here in the next year and a half. So be in the present moment right now, okay, and accept who you are, imperfections and all, and just be at peace in yourself. And every single day when we do that, life will unfold and life will go forward in the manner that it's meant to. So that whole idea of trying to figure it out is going to create massive amounts of stress for you, okay? Now, we also, if you spend your time in the past, then that's depression, right? So if we get stuck in that past energy, and then we're thinking of the future energy, we're never in the present moment, right? Okay, good. Yes, self-love, everything right now, everything. Now, what is self-love? Self-love is not just, like if you burn yourself out, you're like, fuck, I need a day and just like hibernate in the world and watch Netflix and just ignoring everything. No, self-love is working hard at self-care. Self-love is waking up every morning and going for a run, then eating a healthy breakfast, then structuring your day to be productive, then going to bed at night without watching TV, listening to binaural beats, and making sure you get quality sleep, making sure you get quality nutrients in your body, making sure you get a massage every week so that you keep your central nervous system balanced, right? Well, your story doesn't matter or not your ego. Well, that's debatable, okay? The story, if you are living and believing your story, then it does matter. And we all have a story. And your ego is a part of you. You are not your ego, but the ego is a part of us, right? And the ego is not a bad thing. I don't want to give that idea out to people. The ego is necessary, but the problem happens when we let the ego drive. We need to let the heart drive, and the ego follows suit. The ego cannot be the master, is what I'm saying, right? So we have to make sure that the mind is listening to the heart, not the heart is listening to the mind, because the heart is thousands of times stronger than the mind. But we, especially in this information age, especially with this go, 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 you got to hustle hard, you got to work harder and make hard decisions and hard. I used to do that. I was in the military for 10 years. It don't work. It'll burn you out, and and right now with the energies, it'll bleed you dry, right? So we want to make sure that this is why presence and awareness is so important, because we need to be hyper aware and be the observer of our mind, so that when our mind is going fast and it has a hard time shutting off, like, okay, I'm at this point where I won't shut down and now I can't sleep. So I need to go sit in the infrared sauna, or I need to go get a massage, or I need to do something to take care of me so that I can get help shutting my mind down, right? And then once you shut your mind down, then you can get a better night's sleep. Then you can wake up in the morning, feel better, take care of yourself, blah, blah, right? So I know a lot of people right now, especially are getting like burnt out. For like 2 years, what's up, Karma? Love you, babe. For like 2 years, I was just going, then getting burnt out, and my body was so out of whack, and relying on stimulants to keep me going, and it killed me, right? Of course you did, twin. So being able to catch yourself before you get to that place of it being too much, so important. All right, and we have to be the observer, and we have to be present in order to be able to do that. All right. Yeah, exactly. When you think about it like that, it makes sense, right? And the structures right now are very difficult to put into place, because we have so many layers of this stuff of ego dominance, if you will. I'm gonna coin that, ego dominance, because ego is not bad, but ego dominance, probably no bueno, right? Yeah. So when you're burning yourself out, self-care is critical. And then so we're laying this foundation, right? But every time it's like we're excavating, we're laying this foundation, we're pouring the concrete, then somebody's like, fuck, there's 5 bubbles over there. We got to go crack that open and build it up. That's what Saturn and Pluto is doing, right? It's over and over and over. So we keep burning ourselves out. We keep doing this, like, okay, something's going wrong. And this is forcing us to take a deeper look at ourselves and push forward more into the self-care and into re-identifying what the structure really has to be. Because once January comes, that foundation is set, dude. That foundation is done, and we are locked in, ready to go for the next 30 years. Okay? So very, very, very important. There's a lot of work to do, and this is a very intense time. But we can do it, and we will when we focus on these fundamental things, staying in the present moment, taking care of ourselves, but working hard at taking care of ourselves. Because if we work diligently, I don't want to say the word hard because that's not necessarily right. Hold that thought for 1 second, Molly. We work diligently and consistently on taking care of ourselves every day. We create that structure, that foundation for ourselves. That's when we're able to handle all this change, all this stuff coming in. So we have no expectation, right? Because with all the change, we don't really know. We're going to get hit left, right, up, and down, and we really don't know how it's going to hit us. So we have to be ready for anything. And in order to be ready energetically for that, we have to be in our full power, and we have to be balanced as possible. Yeah, we may get knocked down, but we're going to get up faster and faster and faster if we're in our foundation and if we're in our center energetically, able to move forward. So, Molly, you asked, what books would you recommend to study this material? Well, first one that comes to my mind is Caroline Myss's Energetic Anatomy. Okay. And that's helping to understand the interaction between the physical and energetic bodies. Okay. I also really like Derek Duopner, I think his name is. I don't remember the name of the book, but Derek Duopner. It has to do with getting out of your own way. I think it's another one. The Obstacle is the Way. And there's one more that I was thinking of. Oh, yeah. You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL. I love my SEAL boys. And that dude went through so much shit. He just loves pain. But I listen to that. I drive to and from California a lot. So I listen to that every time I drive, and I just get something different from it. And hearing this guy's story is so inspirational. I just feel like, all right, I can do this. I can get through it. I can make it happen, whatever it takes. And we need that inspiration. That's why it's so important, for material, or really, especially for people. We need those good people in our lives to help to push us along, to help to hold us accountable and be like, hey, you can do this, but not in a way that's going to enable us to be like victims or self-sabotage, right? We don't want to be like, oh, poor puppy, you're going to be okay. No, it'll be like, all right, that sucks. Now get up and let's go. And you know what? I'm going to go with you, right? I'm going to lead by example. And there's especially a lot of light workers right now are getting hit hard because, we've had to work through a lot of these really dense, deep, ancestral karmic issues that have been plaguing our lineage for generations. And as this stuff comes up, we're getting rid of it for our lineage, for the collective, right? And when we step up into that, and we take responsibility, we can still feel all that shit, right? So we need to surround ourselves with those other people that get it. It's like someone that's been to war, right? They're going to go to counseling. You think they're going to talk to a counselor that's never been there, that's never seen a friend die, that's never, been blown up? Hell no. They need to talk to someone that knows that has been there because they have that connection. And light workers, the reason why we go through so much shit, okay, especially early on in life, is because now we know what it's like. So when people come to us, like, man, I'm going through this, going through that, we're like, yeah, I feel you. And you really do feel it. And people can feel that. They can feel if you haven't been through it and you're just being sympathetic and like, yeah, that sucks. I'm so sorry. I really feel bad for you. But you don't understand. You don't get it. You don't know what this feels like. But when you do know what it feels like, we create that bond. And those bonds are being brought together right now in such a significant way. Our soul tribes are being pulled together. We're being magnetized towards the people that we want to connect with. That's why the feeling of, man, I should connect with that person. I should reach out to this person. It's getting stronger. and it's getting stronger. You need to listen to that feeling, okay? Because the more you listen to that, the more you're going to realize, wow, there's a deeper universal energy at play here. This is destined. This is karmic. This is meant to happen. This is bringing in this next level. And when we build these communities, when we create together, that is creating a space of interdependence, this universal love, helping each other out, this universal empathy of understanding. We all work together to build, and we all have different skills, different ways. So, eventually, probably say 3, 4, maybe 5 years, I see like communes, like old tribal, like going back to like the tribal ways where we have groups of 100, 200, 300 people that are all internetworking. We all have different skills and we all just work and we have this bubble of trust and honesty and gratitude together. And we all work together to build each other up, right? And, as we build each other up, like, really it's going to give us a solid foundation, like growing our own food, cooking our own food, like everybody, helping to teach each other and everybody looking out for each other. No, we'll have like just like how sort of like Google and Facebook and all those guys are doing it, or in Amazon, like the whole Silicon Valley, they have these environments, communities where they really don't have to leave their work. They have a gym there. They have, cooks there. They have all this commune type of atmosphere, and everybody flourishes. Everybody wins. Everybody helps out and puts in the work and, takes responsibility for themselves. And when you do that, that's why I love, working with, the ayahuasca community, because everybody's like that, right? Do I have a solid morning and night routine? Generally speaking, yes. Now, every now and then that still gets thrown off, but lately I've been bringing it back, and that's been my default. So like usually, like I go to bed anywhere between 10 and 12. I try not to eat before, like within those hours either, and I lay down. I have blackout curtains, and I throw on my binaural beats, close my eyes. I just breathe deep for about 10 to 30 minutes. And usually that puts me to sleep. In the morning, I get up, I go for a run, I come back, I eat, I have my greens and protein shake, and then I pack my meals for the day and I get off and I, go work and, change the world one day at a time. So yes, having a morning routine and a night routine is very important. Now there's going to be some days where you go later, you want to go out, maybe, you have date night, or, maybe you want to do something different, then, go out and do that. All right. But, if you go more than like 2-3 days, that is outside of your routine, you're going to start to feel that. You're going to start to feel that, anxiety, thinking about the future. How the hell am I going to get this back? Blah, blah, blah. So, it is definitely very important to keep that as solid as possible, especially for the next 3 months. Critical. But the universe isn't really going to, let us have much of a choice any other way. But the more that we're aware of this, the better off we're going to be. Okay. So let's see here. We have a lot of cross energy. Cross, I mean square energy. So we have, let's see, of course, Jupiter is still coming through that square to Neptune. So all that stuff is still, we need more help, each other, tribe, community, everyone wins. Exactly. And that's where it's going. I mean, there's no other way around it. It kind of has to go that way. So we also have Chiron quincunx over to, let's see, Venus. And the sun is quincunx over to the moon right now. I'm sorry, the sun is quincunx over to Neptune. Oof. And Mars is quincunx over to the moon. So this quincunx energy is very uncomfortable. Okay, but we need that discomfort. It's like the birthing process. We're going through like a 3-month birthing process over the next few months. All right, so with this yod, this is really bringing up and exploding relationship situations, especially if it's not on the right path. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go into the chart a little more specifically, and we have the 10th, the 11th. Mercury goes retrograde. I'm sorry, Mercury goes into shadow. So what shadow means is basically that's the degree in which Mercury will come back to reevaluate. All right, and then it's going to go forward. So it's starting at it's going to keep going until Halloween. Mercury retrograde starts on Halloween. That's going to be a trip, because when Mercury is stationed, that's the deepest part of the energy. So you want to talk about weird Halloween. It's going to be that's going to be intense, and that's like 3-4 days right after a new moon too in Scorpio. Yeah, so a lot of scorpionic energy going on. That's deep. That's also sexual, seductive, right? So it could be fun or it could be manipulative. Don't really know. Just be true to yourself. All right, be true to yourself through all this shenanigans. So whatever's going on from the 11th until the 31st, we're going to revisit all that stuff. So bear in mind, what happens here in the next couple of weeks, because chances are it's going to come up for a second and third look, right? Then on the 13th, we have the full moon at 20 degrees of Aries. So that's only three degrees away from Aries. I'm not going to get too much into this because I made a separate video on my YouTube for the full moon. You can check that out. You can go to Spiritual Bodybuilder on YouTube and look at that if you so prefer. But this is where the exact square to Pluto is. And then we have Chiron exactly opposite. Not exactly. It's at a 4-degree orb, but Chiron with Mars opposition. Still, like, this is the divine masculine, okay? Bringing up the vulnerability of that divine masculine. And Mars in Libra is sort of passive aggressive. It's sort of like, well, I don't know. Like, I want to go forward, but I want everybody to help out and, be a part of it. And how do I do this? Like, where do I go? I don't get it. I don't have clarity. All right. So, and that's about our structure. That's about, that vulnerable aspect, our insecurity really of our identity, of our ego. So we really need, this is going to be a very, very vulnerable full moon. This weekend is going to be pretty intense, okay? Because that also on top of the Plutonic energy is, but it has to come up. It has to come up so we can face it and feel it, deal with it, and move the fuck on, right? Pardon all my, you know what? Sorry, not sorry. I don't care. I like to cuss because it adds that extra passion into it, right? So if you don't like it, then don't watch me. If you don't mind it, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you even if you don't like it. Because attitude of gratitude saves the day, baby. All right, so we still have this. And on this day of the full moon, we have an exact sextile from the sun to Jupiter. So that's a really good energy. We're not going to have that again for a very long time because Jupiter is in its home sign, up until November for the next 12 years. It won't be there. So this is very beneficial, benefic. This is really growing our belief systems in relationship to career and to relationships. So as all this deep, dark, vulnerable stuff is coming out, then we have this energy of like, yes, I can do it, right? What's up, Marvel girl? It is all good, baby. Hell yeah. So that is going to really bring out like our shine. Once we face and feel that threshold of that fear, of that discomfort, it's going to be like Rocky music, like, yeah, yo, Adrian, I did it, So this is sort of like, we're getting ready for that fight of our life. But, we're training hard. And the training hard is coming into balance. It's being in the present moment. It's structure. It's taking care of ourselves on a daily basis. All right. The more you do that, the better you're going to be. This grand trine is still going on here, but now this grand trine is between Neptune, the North Node, and Mercury. All right. So this is, again, dissolving old patterns that no longer serve us. And a grand trine means like that shit just happens, right? It's going to flow. With this other energy going on, normally like a grand trine by itself might make us a little bit lazy, but we're not going to be lazy right here because of all this other energy going on. This is pressurizing us into a diamond. A diamond. Suck it. All right. After that, We have Mercury. It's going to be trining Neptune in Pisces. That's going to be, understanding the bigger picture, really seeing all this stuff. And the moon will be conjunct Uranus, it's going to be sesquadrate Jupiter still, and opposed to Venus. So now Venus is 2 degrees past Uranus. So we've had some unexpected things come up with our feminine energy, with our nurturing, with money. All right, a lot of stuff about money here. Because Scorpio, the second and eighth house is all about self-worth, self-confidence, and eighth house is other people's money. Second house is the money that we make, right? Un poco de español también. No comprende. Sorry. I speak Spanish. Okay, is that what that means? I don't know. What's up, God? It's Mimi Love. So, yeah, I really only speak English. I just like messing around with, certain words, usually from taking it from movies. Okay, so unexpected stuff in relationships. It's just it's going on for the next couple of weeks, right? And with the Uranus that's quincunx over to Mars, more relationship stuff. Just all this relationship stuff that's going on is pressurizing us. It's forcing us into believing in ourselves. It's making us level up, and sometimes that leveling up is a bit discomfort. It's a bit uncomfortable, right? So hey, I'm happy you guys made it. Hell yeah! Discomfort is sort of part of the game. We have to condition ourselves to just be okay with that, and we have the ability to do it. Just, again, it comes back to being in the present moment, like that. Being in the present moment, self-care, doing the work every day to create that structure and to be able to be an observer of our own mind, so that we can come from our heart and let our heart be the driver of the decisions that we make. When it feels right, it's right. And the more we take care of ourselves on a daily basis with the structure, the more tuned into that energy that will be, and the more efficiently we'll work through this energy. And then, and that is creating new habits. And these new habits are the higher version of ourselves that is going to create the life that we really want next year. Next year is going to be like the time where, okay, we've done the work. Now it's time to grow and blossom and see how far we can actually take what we want to do and make it happen. So it's still going to be a test, but it's going to be the other side. Like right now, we're sort of climbing up the mountain. In January, we'll be walking across the plateau and trying to bring other people up the mountain with us. Okay. Is this a good time for career moves at work? Career moves are going to be happening. And so if there is opportunities coming elsewhere, I would say yes, absolutely. Because there's so much change going on. Everybody is changing. Everybody I know is making some kind of change into something new. So without a doubt, career and relationships too. If you're not happy, if you're in a situation that is not really just a fuck yes, then it's got to be a fuck no. There's no in between right now. And it needs to be that way so we can see clearly. Okay. So is the next 2 months preparing for going up the mountain and planning? Yeah, nice. I already answered it. Look at that shit. All right, cool. Let's see here. 15th, we have Jupiter quincunx over to the moon. That's more belief system stuff and self-worth. Our self-worth is just getting pummeled right now so that we can become stronger. And I know you can feel it. It's in that vulnerable place that we're getting deeper and deeper into that vulnerability. But that vulnerability, we're recovering. If you notice, we're recovering faster. Things aren't triggering us as much or as bad. And it sort of still feels like it sucks. But then when we get a break, which we're not getting many breaks right now, but when we do, we're like, all right, I got this. Cool. And then bam, 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 bam. King, slow down. I want to wake up, but hold on. Let me process all this shit that you just threw at me. All right. And then let's see here. This Grand Trine is going to be lasting for probably the next week or so. So that's pretty awesome. Very exciting. And yeah. And on the 16th, we have the moon moving into Gemini, and it's going to quincunx over to Saturn. So that's going to be more about like communication with the self, with others, about our foundation, about our life purpose. So, this moon's doing a lot of work in this next week. Prepare for this weekend. You're bored with Starbucks, huh? Yeah, I don't drink Starbucks either. This next week is going to be really intense, especially this weekend with this full moon. Okay, this is really leveling us up. This is transforming our identity. This is restructuring our ego, and this is bringing in a lot of new energy, which is interesting because usually full moons are endings, but Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it's bringing endings, but it's also bringing new beginnings for us to really step into and understand and have clarity on what it is that we really love, that really makes us tick, that really makes us feel alive. We need to have that passion of feeling alive, but not get attached or addicted to the passion. So getting attached to things right now also is very dangerous. We need to be careful of that. Okay. And attachments will lead to escapism. Okay. So having no expectations, or at least as little as possible. All right. And being flexible in the approach. Right. Does building muscle add weight and mass, making it difficult to have a spiritual life? That's a really good question. And no, actually, in my opinion, it does not. For me, and tattoos, no. I actually used to be a lot bigger, but my physical practice, my fitness work, to me, it's a very spiritual process. Because your body, your flesh suit is what you have in this life, and when you focus on keeping it as strong and as healthy as possible. I went through a phase, of course, when I was competing in bodybuilding where I was very ego-driven. I relied on the validation from outside sources to make me feel good, and I got my ass kicked for that by the universe, and I learned. And now it's more like my physical body is a physical representation of my emotional strength. Okay, especially as we get older, like the body starts to go out of whack really easy. So we like. I actually, you'd be surprised. I don't really lift that heavy. I've already built up all the muscles I need. I do a lot of cardio. I do a lot of HIIT kind of training. I do a lot of yoga. And I just eat clean. And I stretch a lot, like at least 30 minutes, if not an hour and a half a day. And I meditate and I listen to binaural beats a lot. And I found that the more well-balanced I am, physically concerned, the more in tune I am spiritually. So, which there's like a thing in the spiritual community. I have my spiritual people, I have my fitness people, and I have my business people. It's like different types of groups of people that I assert myself with. And I find a lot of people in the spiritual community, they don't really take care of themselves physically a whole lot because they're so caught up in the energetic and spiritual aspect of it. Look, I'm super in tune with energy. I'm a body worker. I work with my hands on people's bodies every day, and I can feel the energy, and I'm super in tune. So it's, a lot of people that are ego driven for that. Do you know Kurtan? I don't think so. All right, Kirst, are you from Vegas? You meet like a lot of younger guys that are very ego driven, and that's okay. That's the place of their journey that they're in. But and I was there too. Like they rely on outside motivation, outside validation, and there's a lot of ego and insecurity in the whole industry. But a lot of the older guys that like I'm 40. Okay, so a lot of the older guys, they've been through that shit. But we built up this physique. I got up to 250 pounds. Like it was very uncomfortable. So now I'm like 220, and I'm more like open, flowy, and I feel good in my body. And thank God I did all that work. It has pros and cons, but I learned a lot. And I believe that the spiritual, emotional, and physical bodies are meant to be in balance, in alignment. So if you're not paying attention to the physical, then I think that you're actually kind of cheating yourself out of spiritual growth. That's just my personal opinion. Some days I do feel like I'm doing more during the day, finally speeding up really fast. Time is definitely feels like it's speeding up, because that fifth dimension, that time seems faster, right? But that's okay, because it's our perception, really. But yeah, so guys, I think that's all I have for you right now. I definitely appreciate you all for tuning in. And oh yeah, number sequences everywhere, like 111, 88. I see 888 and 555 and 777 everywhere lately. Of course, that just means, hey, our spirit guides, the ascended masters are talking to us and guiding us, telling us, hey, we're on the right path. We're making it happen. We're doing the work. Just keep going. Just keep going. All right. Yeah. So thank you guys very much. If you guys would like a reading with me on Instagram, feel free to just DM me. A lot of people have been doing that lately, and that seems to work pretty efficiently. On YouTube, you can go on my Instagram, spiritual_bodybuilder, or you can go to my website, trinityfitnessastrology.com, or even just write a comment on this video, and I'll be happy to get back to you and work with you. All right. And if you live in Vegas, if you want some body work, I'll be happy to work with you. I'm very good at working on the body, so let's make it happen. And if there's nothing else, namaste. Thank you.